Hello everyone, you're welcome back to this class. So in this class, we continue from where we stopped. So we look going to be looking at angles and parallel lines. We've talked about different types of lines. We talked about parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that will never meet or that can never meet. No matter how you extend the lines, they will never meet. So that's what to look at angles that are related to it. But before we look into that, there's something we have to look at first. So when two lines intersect, so we want to, before we go into parallel lines, when we have two lines intersect, this is a line, a straight line, and we have another straight line, they are intersecting at this point. So the angles that are facing each other, this angle here and this angle here, are equal. So if this is A, then this is also what? A. So what we call this one is vertically opposite angles. So vertically what? Opposite angles. So vertically opposite angles are equal. So vertically opposite angles are equal. The same thing goes with this one. This angle and this angle are vertically opposite. They are facing each other. So this angle and this angle, if this is x, this also be x. So meaning that A is equal to A, then x is equal to what? X. So if this is A, let's say this is B, A is equal to B, and x is equal to what? Y. So the two of them is vertically opposite angles. Vertically what? Opposite. So that's the first one. Now one thing you are going to notice here is that this angle here, this angle A here, is formed by this line and this line. And this angle B is formed by this line and this line. It's giving us something like x. So once you're able to bring out x shape, because this is x shape. So the vertical, the opposite, the angles there are what? Equal. So we can also call it what? X shape. X shape. So that is that on the first aspect, which is what? Vertically opposite angles. So we are going to see its application subsequently. Now, let's now go to parallel lines. So when we have two parallel lines, I've explained in the first video we did. So this is the symbol that will show that two lines are parallel. Just put arrows there. So sometimes you can see two arrows, right? So when you have two parallel lines like this, you now have a line crossing it. So this line that is crossing it here is what we call transversal. So transversal. So the line is called transversal. So under this one, we're going to be coming up with different theorems. So we have three theorems under it. So the first one we're going to look at is alternate angles. What do I call it? Alternate angles. Now, alternate angles are equal. Or we call it Z angles. Z what? Angles. Just like this one is X. So this one will give us a shape of what? Z. Now, let's consider this angle and this angle. Let this angle be A and this one is what? B. So the first thing we are going to do is to look at the lines that formed the angles. So for this angle A here, it is formed by this line and by this line. Alright? While this angle B here is formed by this line and this line. What you can see here is what? Z. So in that case, this angle here and this angle here are alternate angles. So therefore, we can say that A is equal to what? B. Alternate what? Angles. Alternate what? Angles. So don't worry, we're still going to look at examples. Alternate angles. I hope that is clear. So let's look at another way. It can come in another form. So for example, you have this. We have this. Have in any form. Suppose we have something like this. These are parallel lines as well. And we have transversal here. Alright? So let's consider this angle and this angle here. So what we are just going to do is to look at the lines that formed the angles. Let's this is X and this is Y. Alright? So how do we know that? So this is formed, this angle here is formed by this line and this line. While this angle is formed by this line and this line. You can see something like this. This also Z. It's also Z that is backward. So, and also this angle here and this angle, they are also alternate because it is formed by this line, and this line. You have this is all you have there. Have this. This also says this is this, and this angle here. This angle here is this. So if this is A and this is B, they are also what? The same thing. So the most important is for you to know the lines. So if once you're able to determine that these are the lines that form this particular angle, then you'll be able to know if it's going to give you what Z or it's going to give you X. Exactly. So that is that on alternate what angles. I hope that is very clear. Alright, let's now look at the next one, which is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Under corresponding angle, corresponding angles. Under this, the same thing, you also look at parallel lines. If they are not parallel, you cannot apply this rule. So we have this line and this line are parallel, alright? We now have another line crossing it. So these alternate angles we also refer to it as F angle. F angles. And because going to give us F like this one that gives us what? Z. So in this case, so let's look at this. So we can see something like F like this. You can also see F like this. So this angle and this angle here. So let's look at this. These two angles. So looking at this angle, let's say this is A and this is B. So this A, angle A here is formed by this line. Let me use another pen. It's formed by this line, alright, and this line. Why this angle B is formed by this line and this line? We are having something like this. This is also F. So this is A here and this is B here. So these two angles are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are what? Are equal. I hope I'm making sense. So therefore, A is equal to what? B. A is equal to B. The same thing, if you look at this angle here and this angle here. So this is formed by this line. This angle here, which is X, is formed by this line and this line. Then why this Y is formed by this line and this line. So you can see F that goes like this. Not this and this are equal. Therefore, Y is equal to X as well. I hope that is clear. But now we look at examples now, it will be clearer. So the third one that we're going to look at is what we call co-interior angles. Co-interior angles. This one also is part of angles in parallel lines. Co-interior angle. Co-interior angles. So co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So co-interior angle, I'll show you. Co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So that is that. It adds up to 180 degrees. So let's look at this, how it's also, if we don't have parallel lines, we cannot apply this as well. So we have this. So this angle here and this angle here, they are co-interior angles. So look at, let's go, we're going to prove that. If this is A and this is B, so it means that A plus B equals 180 degrees. Why do we say that? Let's quickly look at that. Now, if you look at this, the angle, the external angle we have there, the angle we have there, this angle here, corresponds to this angle. So that is F angle, which is upside down. This is formed by this line, and also formed by what? By this line. So you can see F. This one is F, like this is F. This is where B is. So which means this B is same like this B. Am I with you? That's corresponding angles. In that case, this B and A, they are angles on a straight line. So that means B plus A is equal to what? 180. Therefore, A plus B is equal to 180. A plus B is 180. A plus B is also 180. So that's the reason why the co-interior angles. When you have two parallel lines and it's crossed by a transversal, right? So the two angles inside are co-interior. The same thing with this one and this one. They also add up to 180 degrees. Alright? But this one and this one also add up. That's angles on the straight line. We have done that already. So that is that on co-interior angles. Now let's now look at examples on all these theorems we have mentioned and see how we can apply them, how we can solve problems on them. Okay, let's look at these three examples and see how we can solve this. So the first example is this. So we have this line and this line are parallel. So the question is find the angles marked with letters in the following. So this is 83. This is transversal. So the first thing we need to do is to look for where we can get x, which is vertically opposite angle, where we can get z, and where we can get what f. So that anytime you are given this type of problem, so that's what you should look for. Look for where you can get these three. Once you see parallel line and transversal, look for the three x, z, and f. So let's start with x. So let's start with x. So we can see this is an x here, right? So we are not looking for this. This is an x here, this angle and this angle. That gives us x. So which means that if you know the value of a, you will know the value of what? B. So in that case, x is this one, but we need to find the value of a first before we can find the value of b. So that is number one. Number two, let's look for z. Do we have z? So this angle and this angle, are they z? Let's look at the lines that form the two angles. So the line that forms 83 degrees is this line and this line. While for this one is this line and this line. What we can see, we are seeing something like this. F. So this is F. This angle and this 83 and this A are the same. So we can say that A is equal to what? 83 degrees. Why? That we can write F angles. We can write F angles. Or we write corresponding angle. Still the same thing, we are correct. How I'm with you. So that we find the value of A. So since A is equal to B, B is equal to A, B is equal to what? 83 degrees. That is for vertically opposite angles because this one will give us x, as you can see. So that is vertically what? Opposite angle. So this topic is one of the simplest topics because sometimes you don't even need calculation before you know your answer. Now, it remains, we found A and B, it remains C. So if you look at C here, C and A are angles on a straight line. That means A plus C is equal to what? 180. That is angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line. On a straight line. So therefore, since A is 83, since 80, that will be 83. So that is 83 degrees plus C equals to 180 degrees. That means C equals to what? 180 degrees minus what? 83 degrees, which will give us what? 97 degrees. I hope that is very clear. Alright, so if that is the case, so we are done with this first question. So the second question, this is the second question here. We are looking for this angle x. So that is the whole of this angle here. And we have two angles at a point. This one and this one. We don't know this. So what we can do, there are so many ways in which this one can be done. So once this is a parallel line, this is a parallel line. And this line here is a transversal. We can extend this line. We can extend it with dots, right? I can as well extend this one, right? And I can as well extend this one too. So come and touch this one, all right? So from here, I can bring out the following. I can get this angle. I can use this. I can get this angle here. I can get this angle here. Now this angle here, since this line and this line are parallel, so you can see we have Z like this. This is Z. So this, because this angle is formed by this line and this line. This gives us this. And this angle here is formed by this line and this line. So therefore, this angle here, let's call it A, is equal to what? 38 degrees. So I can say that A is equal to what? 38 degrees, which is equal to what? Alternate angle, which is Z angles, right? Good. So having known this one to be 38 degrees, this A equals to 38 degrees, I can use, we have not done that, some of angles in a triangle. So we have not done that. So we can use some of angles in a triangle to find this part here, from here to here, right? So we use that one to find this one. The same thing we can as well use this one to find this one. So because this and this are also alternate, because it's going to give us Z again. So this is 40 degrees as well. Exactly. So we can use that to find this angle. So this angle and this angle, they are vertically opposite. So when we know this one, we know this one. Are you with me? So in that case, we can say 40 degrees plus 38 degrees plus this, let's say it's B, equals to 180 degrees. So this is 78 degrees plus B equals to 180. That means B equals to 180 degrees minus 78 degrees. And this gives us 102 degrees. So which means this place is 102 degrees, and this is also 102 degrees. Alright? So this here, even without doing that, without looking for this one, this is a straight line, right? This is a straight line. So angles on the straight line is 180. So 180 plus 102. So for us to now get everything from here to here, it will be 180 plus 102. So the angle we are looking for, x, will then be equal to 180 degrees plus 102 degrees. That's going to give us 282 degrees. I hope that is very clear. So that is how to look for that one. That is somehow straightforward, but you have to be very careful when you are solving this. So we can do it in so many ways. I can use another method to solve it as well. So let's look for the second one, the third one, the third question. Third question here. You look at the third question, this line and this line are parallel. So in that case, so we can form, let's look if we can get Z or not. With this and this line is formed by this line, and this line is formed by this line. So that is Z. So therefore, we can say that Y equals to what? Y equals to what? 132 degrees. That is what? Alternate angle. Alternate what? Angles. How about with you? Look at this. This is the line. It's formed by this line. That is this and this. Why this angle is formed by this line and this line. That is giving us Z like this. That goes like this. So this and this are equal. So that is now 132 equals to what? Y. How that is clear. So it remains X. So X and this one too. This is formed by this line and it's also formed by this line. This one by this line and this line. That is also Z. So X, same thing, X is equal to what? 35 degrees. The same thing, alternate what? Alternate angles. I hope I'm making sense. So it remains Z. So the Z here and this, you can see this is vertically opposite angle. So we can say that Z equals to what? 35 degrees. So that is what? Vertically opposite angles. Alright? Okay, that is that on this. I hope this is very clear. Okay, so if that is the case, I think we can stop here. Or let me explain this again. But it's only one that is somehow rough. So we can explain it in such a way that you understand it better again. So we have this, we can as well solve it this way. Because we have not learned some of angles in the triangle. So as soon we have not done that. So let's close our eyes to that. So we have this, alright? These two are parallel, right? So we have 38 here, 38 degrees here. We have 40 degrees here, and we are looking for X here. Alright? So what we're going to do now is that we're going to form another parallel lines to these two. So it's going to cross this point here. Form another parallel lines. That's another way of doing it. And want to text whether we're going to get the same thing or not. So since this line is parallel to this and parallel to this, right? So we can have some kind of relationship here. Look at this one. This angle here will be equal to this angle, which is 38. Alright, that's going to give us alternate angle. As you can see here, this one is giving me Z. So 30, 30. The same thing with this one. This will be also what? 40 degrees. Now we have known this. So we have this together, 38 plus 40, that gives us 78. And these three angles, this angle plus x here, that will give us 360. That will be x plus 78 degrees equals to 360 degrees. That is angles, that is x plus 78 degrees equals to 360 degrees. That gives us angles at a point. Angles at a point. So in this case, so we are looking for x. That will be x equals to 360 degrees minus 78 degrees. So this will give us a 200, 360 minus 78. So this is going to go 2, this will remain 5, and China is going to be 8, and 282 degrees. You can see we got the same answer on this side. Anyhow you do each of this, you're going to get the same answer. So please take note. I drew this line to parallel to these two lines that are parallel. So therefore we can come up with z angles and z angles. So this will be 40, 40, 30, 38. Then once you know these are angles at a point, we have done that already. Then subtract it from 260 get this one. So that's how to calculate that. How this is very clear. So this is where we are going to stop in this video. Don't forget, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on the notification bell. So anytime I release video like this, you have access to it. So we are going to meet in my next video. Bye for now.